toxic masculinity, where they must learn to survive a culture that makes dangerous assumptions and saddles them with superfluous baggage based solely on their genitals. In that way, I hope my transgender friends and I are in agreement, and I hope this book will capture the nuance that the book title can't. Ever look at the totality of mass shootings and pinpoint the common denominator? Virtually all men. In an FBI list of active shooter incidents in the United States from 2000 to 2017, 241 out of 250 incidents identified involved male shooters, a majority of them white, many of them suffering from untreated or undertreated mental illness, and most of them just angry at women. In fact, while analyzing mass shootings from 2009 to 2018, the nonprofit Everytown for Gun Safety found that 54% of perpetrators had shot a current or former intimate partner or family member. These are angry men with no coping mechanisms other than violence to express that rage. The hashtag #MeToo movement? Men are overwhelmingly the perpetrators, using their systemic privilege and power as license to manipulate, harass, and abuse women to serve their own ends. These men do so without even thinking about it, because it has always been the practiced norm, safeguarded by other men in power in almost every industry. The onslaught of heartbeat bills to weaken and even destroy Roe v. Wade? Legislation is perpetrated by mostly male legislators to criminalize the perfectly safe and legal medical procedure of abortion and strip women of bodily autonomy, usually without even knowing how the biological anatomy they're restricting works. The gender wage gap? A 2019 pay scale study finds women making 79 cents to every dollar that a similarly qualified man makes. Boys falling behind girls academically? Boys and men not seeking mental health treatment because of the idiotic notion that talking about your feelings is something only women do? According to the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention, men are committing suicide at a rate of 3.54 times higher than women. All these problems, and more, it's all part and parcel of toxic masculinity, and it all has to stop because it is crippling our boys. I learned this firsthand one day in October 2018 when my middle son, Sam, then a 5-year-old who had just started kindergarten, came home from school in shambles. He had been teased and bullied by the children in his class because he had the audacity to wear red nail polish to school, despite having done this in preschool for 18 months prior to that day, with zero problems at all. Once kindergarten hit, Sam was now dealing with a larger pool of kids from all kinds of backgrounds who were clearly already well versed in traditional gender roles, and they did not take kindly to a boy stepping into the realm of feminine nail polish. He was told that nail polish is only for girls, to take it off immediately, and to never wear it again, because boys don't do that. Up to that point, Sam had had no shame about painting his fingernails, as it was something he had always done with his grandmother, my mom, a former manicurist. But after just one day of teasing and ridicule, he was ready to abandon it for fear of being seen as a girl. I defended Sam via a Twitter thread that described what happened and talked about his innocence and the gender-neutral outlook he'd had all of his short life. My tweets included, "Sam is my middle child, and he's a terror. A boy's boy, as so many, not me, would say. He's rough and tumble, he's loud, he's always dirty, loves trucks, plays sports, and knee drops me from the couch. But he also loves a lot of girl things." So he proudly wore his red nail polish to kindergarten this morning because Sam has absolutely no concept of nail polish only being for girls, or reason to think anyone would possibly have a problem with beautiful nails. But his classmates did have a problem. A big one. Sam was ridiculed for being a boy with nail polish. They called him names and told him to take it off. This lasted the entire day. When my wife picked him up from school, he collapsed into her arms and cried uncontrollably. He was devastated at how other kids turned on him, even his friends. He asked them to stop, but that just made it worse. Only one kid stood up for him. My son is far from perfect, but he's got a huge heart and empathy for Miles. He finds beauty in everything around him, and for 5 years he's never...